dear Tom, I have lived a most circumspect life," Rosamund replied. "I have done what was expected of me, what I was told to do, what I knew was right, what I knew I had to do. Now, however, I mean to do what I want to do, and I want to do something different, something exciting, something that would never be expected of me." "Oh, my," her cousin said softly, looking at Rosamund with new eyes. "You are, I fear, in a dangerous mood, sweet coz. You're obviously ready to kick over the traces that have constrained you for your whole life. Just be cautious, I beg of you." "Caution, dear Tom, was for the old Rosamund. The new Rosamund wants more out of life now, and when I've had it, I shall return to Friarsgate, to my daughters, and probably even to Logan Hepburn, if he will still have me." Tom shook his head, but then he looked up and smiled at her. "I shall be by your side if you wish it, dear cousin, no matter the danger you will probably get us into. I understand these Scots lords are very different from we English, more savage and reckless, I have heard." "So Meg has written me, and in doing so she has quite piqued my interest," Rosamund responded with a little grin. "Has she indeed?" he answered, and then he grinned back at her. "Well, dear girl, it sounds as if we just might have a little bit of fun, eh? If," he noted dryly, seeing the first few flakes of snow beginning to fall, "we don't freeze to death before we get to Edinburgh." Shivering, he pulled up the collar of his cape. "It shouldn't be much farther to Lord Grey's home," Rosamund said, and then she pointed. "Look, on the next hill, that is our destination for tonight." "Then for pity's sake, let's ride faster," Tom said. He turned to the captain of their escort. "Is it possible, dear sir, to move more quickly, lest I turn into a block of ice?" "Aye," the captain said slowly, his tone clearly scornful of this English milord. But then he raised his gloved hand and signalled their troop forward at a much quicker pace, rather surprised that his two charges kept up with them quite well. "Come, dear girl," Sir Thomas called to his cousin Rosamund. "We are in Scotland, and adventure awaits us." Chapter 1. "Who is she?" Patrick Leslie, the first Earl of Glenkirk, asked his friend Lord Grey. "Who's who?" "The woman who sits on the footstool at the Queen's right side," the Earl answered his friend. "Ah," Lord Grey said, understanding at last. "The lady with the auburn hair and the green gown. She is the Queen's childhood friend, the Lady of Friarsgate, come from England at the Queen's invitation. She is lovely, isn't she? She spent a night at my home on her way to court, but I was not there, of course." "I would meet her," the Earl said. "What?" Lord Grey chuckled. "You have shown no interest in a respectable woman in over 20 years, Patrick, and you could be her father," he teased. "Fortunately, I am not her father," the Earl replied, a faint smile touching his lips. "Can you introduce us, Andrew?" "I have not yet myself been introduced," Lord Grey said. It was the Christmas season. The two men stood among the crush of King James IV's court in the great hall of Stirling Castle. The hall had been built by the king's late father, James III. It had a hammer-beamed roof, large heraldic stained-glass windows, and 5 great fireplaces. Above the fireplace that was behind the high board where the king sat, hung his embroidered cloth of estate. The interior of the great hall was painted a rich lime yellow called King's Gold. The court of King James IV of Scotland was a very cosmopolitan one. At least 6 different languages could be heard spoken among the guests. The king was an educated man with eclectic tastes. He could speak on the most modern sciences and theories, architecture, poetry, and history. He was urbane and had great charm, and as well liked as he was by those who peopled his court, he was beloved of the common man as well. The Earl of Glenkirk stared again at the auburn-haired young woman. Andrew Grey was correct. It had been years since he was last attracted.